Let me ask you something. Are you still burning, or are you just flickering? Are you chasing your dreams, or are you letting them die quietly inside of you? Because I promise you this, the world doesn't need your excuses. It needs your fire. And if you don't keep it alive, someone else will take your spot. You see, everyone talks about passion. Everyone talks about dreams. Everyone talks about wanting success. But few people understand what it really takes to keep that fire alive. That fire isn't just a feeling, it's a responsibility. It's the very thing that separates the champions from the spectators. Maybe you face failure. Maybe life has tried to snuff your flame out. Maybe people doubted you, laughed at you, or told you it wasn't possible. That's exactly why you need this fire. It's your weapon, your lifeline, your superpower. Tonight, right here, right now, I'm going to show you how to fuel that fire, protect that fire, and make it burn brighter than ever before. No more excuses, no more waiting. It's time to keep the fire alive and let the world feel your heat. Let me tell you something. Life is not going to hand you your dreams on a silver platter. People will doubt you, situations will challenge you, and your own mind will try to convince you to quit. But there is a fire inside of you, and that fire is bigger than any obstacle, stronger than any doubt, and brighter than any failure. The question is, are you willing to keep it alive? Your fire starts with purpose. If you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, you're just wandering through life, waiting for something to ignite you. But when your purpose is clear, it becomes the fuel that pushes you through the darkest moments. Every setback becomes a lesson, every failure, a step forward, and every early morning or late night, a reminder that your why is bigger than your comfort. You got to dig deep and find the reason that wakes you up sweating, that keeps you awake while others sleep, and that whispers in your ear, you're not done yet. Discipline is what turns the spark into a blaze. Motivation comes and goes. You might wake up some days fired up, but on the days you don't, discipline is what will carry you. Discipline is showing up when you're tired. Discipline is doing what you don't feel like doing because you know it matters. You can't rely on feelings. They change. You rely on habits. You rely on routine. You rely on the stubborn refusal to quit. That's how you keep the fire alive, one disciplined step at a time. And don't forget about the people around you. Your environment will either feed your fire or smother it. You can't allow negative energy, doubt, or laziness to creep into your circle. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, who push you, who are hungry like you are. Energy is contagious. If your friends are flickering, your fire will dim. But if they're blazing, you can't help but rise. Choose your circle wisely because your fire is contagious too. You want it to spark greatness, not fade into mediocrity. Your mind is another battlefield. If you feed it negativity, it will snuff out your flame. If you feed it knowledge, inspiration, and wisdom, it will roar into a wildfire. Read books, listen to those who have been there. Watch videos that elevate you. Your mind controls your actions. Your actions control your results, and your results control your life. Feed your mind and your fire will never die. Struggle is inevitable. The fire is not meant to burn without friction. It's meant to grow stronger with it. Every failure, every obstacle, every challenge is oxygen for your fire if you let it be. Stop fearing struggle. Stop running from difficulty. Lean into it. Let it shape you, let it toughen you, and let it ignite a fire that no one can put out. Champions are not made in comfort. They are forged in adversity. Action is the lifeblood of your fire. Dreams without action are like sparks in the wind. They vanish before anyone sees them. You have to move, grind, and fight every single day. Even the smallest steps, when done consistently, keep the fire alive. Stop waiting for the perfect time, the perfect moment, the perfect condition. There is no perfect. There is only now. Do something. Do anything. Keep moving. Keep fighting. Keep your fire alive. And when your fire dims, and it will, you have to reignite it, reflect, reset, and refocus. Take a step back, remind yourself why you started, and push forward with renewed energy. Never let a temporary setback become a permanent defeat. A fire that flickers can roar again if you refuse to let it die. This is the art of resilience. This is the essence of champion. Finally remember that your fire is not just for you. It's for the people who watch you, follow you, and depend on your example. Your fire has the power to inspire, to motivate, to lead. Keep it alive not only for your own success, but to light up the world around you. Leave a legacy that burns long after you're gone. Be the flame that others need to see to believe that greatness is possible. Your fire is your power, your weapon, your superpower. Protect it, nurture it, and keep it burning no matter what. Because when you keep your fire alive, there's nothing in this world that can stop you. Let's start at the very beginning. Purpose is the fire starter. Purpose is the reason you wake up in the morning and refuse to stay in bed even when the world is telling you to quit. Purpose is that whisper deep inside that says you are meant for more than this. Without purpose, passion fades. Without purpose, discipline collapses. Without purpose, life becomes a series of random actions. And your fire, the one thing that can separate you from mediocrity, slowly dies out. Purpose is not something you find outside of yourself. It's not something someone can hand you. It's not in a textbook, a class, or a lecture. Purpose is something you dig for inside. It's something you wrestle with, something you fight for, something you discover only after you push past excuses, distractions, and fear. Every single person who has achieved greatness knows this. Every champion, every innovator, every leader, every person who has ever left a mark on the world started with purpose. It doesn't matter if it's Michael Jordan on the basketball court, Oprah Winfrey in the media world, Elon Musk building rockets and cars, or Eric Thomas standing here today. They all had a reason. They all had a fire that could not be extinguished because it was fueled by purpose. Then that fire didn't just appear. They discovered it through struggle, pain, self-reflection, and relentless questioning. They asked themselves, why am I here? What am I really doing this for? And they refused to settle until they found the answer. You may be asking yourself right now, how do I find my purpose? Let me tell you, it doesn't come in a tidy package. It doesn't arrive wrapped in a bow. It comes in whispers, in moments of discomfort, in experiences that push you to your limits. Purpose often comes disguised as pain. The obstacles in your life, the failures you've endured, the times you've been knocked down, they are all pointing you toward your purpose if you are willing to listen. Stop seeing setbacks as the end. Start seeing them as signposts. Stop asking, why me? Start asking, well, what is this teaching me? Because every challenge has a lesson designed to guide you closer to your purpose, closer to fire that will never let you quit. Purpose is not just about what you want, it's about who you are. Many people think purpose is a goal or a title, but that's a lie. Purpose is identity. Purpose is waking up every day and living in alignment with the person you were born to become. It is understanding your strengths, your passions, your gifts, and your pain, and then using all of that to create impact. Purpose is the difference between someone who works for a paycheck and someone who works to leave a mark on the world. Without purpose, life is motion without direction. With purpose, life becomes a mission, and that mission is your fuel. Now, let me get real with you. Finding purpose is hard. It's messy, it's uncomfortable. It forces you to confront yourself, to face your fears, to look at the parts of your life you've been avoiding. It requires you to ask uncomfortable questions. Who am I? What am I willing to die for? What kind of life do I refuse to accept? These are not questions you answer in 5 minutes while scrolling on your phone. These are questions that demand time, reflection, and honesty. They demand late nights when the world is asleep, when distractions are gone, when it's just you and the raw truth of your own thoughts. That's where purpose is born, in the quiet moments of reflection, in the brave moments of confrontation with yourself. Purpose is also about vision. You can't ignite a fire without seeing the sparks. You can't stay motivated if you don't see the horizon. Vision is the map. Purpose is the fuel. If you know where you're going and why you're going, you can withstand the storms. You can endure the criticism. You can rise after every failure. Vision gives you a purpose shape. Purpose gives your vision fire. And when they work together, you become unstoppable. You don't just move through life. You charge through it. You don't just react to circumstances. You create them. You don't just survive. You thrive. Many people live their entire lives without purpose. They float through existence like a leaf in the wind, waiting for someone or something to give them meaning. And when that meaning doesn't come, they settle for mediocrity. But you are not here to settle. You are not here to drift. You are here to ignite your purpose and let it burn so brightly that no obstacle can put it out, no opinion can diminish it, and no failure can shake it. You have a fire inside you that is unique, something that only you can bring to this world. That fire is your purpose, and it is waiting to be unleashed. Igniting your purpose also means understanding that it will demand sacrifice. You cannot keep a fire alive if you are unwilling to give up comfort, excuses, and distractions. You will have to make choices every day that prioritize your purpose over immediate pleasure. You will have to be willing to work when others sleep, to endure criticism when others praise laziness, and to push past fear when others take the easy way out. Sacrifice is not punishment. It is investment. It is the price you pay to feed your fire. Every moment you spend investing in your purpose is a spark added to your flame. Every time you choose action over comfort, you make your fire stronger. Purpose is not static. It grows, evolves, and changes as you evolve. What you were meant to do at 20 may not be what you are called to do at 30. Life will give you new experiences, new insights, and new challenges that reshape your understanding of your purpose. And that's okay. The key is to remain open, to remain aware, and to remain committed to the process of discovery. Your fire will adapt as you adapt, but it will never die if you continue feeding it with reflection, growth, and alignment with your values. Here's another truth. Your purpose will be tested. People will doubt you. Life will challenge you. The world will tell you no, but purpose is like a flame in the wind. The stronger the wind, the brighter it burns if your fire is real. Your fire doesn't just survive adversity, it thrives in it. It thrives in it. Every time you get knocked down, every time someone tells you it's impossible, every time you face rejection, it is an opportunity to feed your fire. Let the setbacks be fuel. Let the criticism be fuel. And let your unwavering belief in yourself and your purpose be the oxygen that keeps it blazing. One of the most dangerous things you can do is ignore your fire because it's uncomfortable. It's easier to live a life of mediocrity, to settle for what's safe, to follow the path of least resistance. But comfort kills purpose. Comfort extinguishes fire. If you want to keep your fire alive, you have to be willing to step into discomfort every single day. You have to embrace the unknown, risk failure, and confront fear. You have to walk through the fire, not around it, because the only way to truly ignite your purpose is to face what challenges you, what scares you, and what pushes you beyond what you thought was possible. Purpose also requires clarity. You cannot ignite a fire if you are unclear about what matters most. You cannot burn brightly if you are constantly second-guessing, doubting, or trying to be everything to everyone. You have to define your mission. You have to know what you are willing to fight for, what you refuse to compromise on, and what you will give your life energy to. Clarity transforms scattered sparks into a roaring blaze. It aligns your decision, your actions, and your mindset with your true purpose. When you have clarity, every step you take becomes meaningful. Every effort becomes strategic. Every sacrifice becomes worthwhile. Understand this. Igniting your purpose is not a one-time event. It is a daily commitment. Every morning you have to wake up and choose to feed your fire. Every day you have to remind yourself why you started, what you are fighting for, and who you are meant to become. The fire will flicker, doubts will creep in, and challenges will try to snuff it out. That's why daily reflection, daily effort, and daily focus are essential. Purpose is not a passive experience. It is an active choice. Every moment you choose to live with intention, every moment you align your actions with your why, you keep the fire alive. And here's the most powerful truth. Your purpose is not just for you. The fire you ignite has the potential to light the world. When you live your purpose boldly, passionately, and unapologetically, you inspire others to find their fire. You create a ripple effect that extends far beyond your own life. Your fire becomes a beacon, guiding others out of darkness, showing them what is possible, and reminding them that they too have a flame within waiting to be set ablaze. That is the legacy of purpose, igniting fire in others while keeping your own burning bright. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop wandering? Are you ready to stop settling? Are you ready to ignite your purpose and let it burn so brightly that nothing can dim it? Because the world is waiting for your life. The people who need you, the opportunities that are meant for you, the impact only you can make. It all depends on whether you are willing to find your why, embrace your mission, and keep your fire alive no matter what. Your purpose is the spark. Your actions are the fuel. Your sacrifice is the oxygen. Together they create a fire that can move mountains, break barriers, and change the course of your life. You have everything inside of you to ignite it. You just have to commit, focus, and refuse to let anything extinguish it. Every failure, every challenge, every sleepless night, and every doubt is just fuel for the flame. Feed it, protect it, nurture it, keep it alive. Because when your purpose is burning bright, you cannot be stopped. You cannot be ignored. You cannot be denied. Your fire is waiting. Your life is waiting. Your purpose is waiting. The question is, are you ready to ignite it? Are you ready to step into your greatness? Are you ready to show the world what happens when someone refuses to quit? That's what it means to keep the fire alive. And it starts with your purpose, the reason, the why, the very thing that makes you unstoppable. Find it, fuel it, live it, and watch as the world catches fire with you. Let me tell you something. Motivation is a liar. Motivation will show up, get you hyped, make you feel like a superhero, and then disappear when you need it the most. Motivation is like the weather. It's temporary, unpredictable, and unreliable. One day it's shining, one day it's gone. If you're relying on motivation to keep your fire alive, you are setting yourself up for failure. Motivation feels good, but it doesn't sustain results. It doesn't keep you going when the lights are off, when everyone else is asleep, when you're facing obstacles, or when your body and mind are screaming at you to quit. Motivation is the spark, but discipline is the flame that burns long after the spark fades. Discipline is what separates the people who talk about their dreams from the people who achieve them. Discipline is what gets you out of bed at 4:30 a.m. when your bed feels like heaven and the world feels heavy. Discipline is what makes you keep going when you've already done 90% of the work, and the last 10% is the hardest. Discipline is what forces you to say a no to distractions, a no to procrastination, and a no to the easy way out. Discipline is what transforms good intentions into unstoppable action. It doesn't care about feelings. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if life is difficult. Discipline simply shows up and does what needs to be done every single day, no matter what. Think about it. If you rely on motivation, you're at the mercy of how you feel. Some days you feel like a lion. Some days you feel like a kitten. But if you rely on discipline, you create consistency, and consistency is what leads to mastery. Discipline is what allows you to take action even when you don't feel like it, even when nobody is watching, and even when your brain is screaming, "This is too hard, just quit." Motivation will never get you through that. Motivation will never make you practice the extra hour, study the extra lesson, make the extra call, or push through the rejection. Discipline will. Let me break it down for you. Discipline is showing up when it's inconvenient. Discipline is doing the work nobody else wants to do. Discipline is enduring the grind, day in and day out, without cheering crowds, without instant recognition, without the dopamine hit of a quick reward. Discipline is what allows you to keep your fire alive when motivation has left the building. Without discipline, talent fades. Without discipline, dreams die. Without discipline, your fire becomes a flicker instead of a blaze. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but motivation feels so good. I need that energy to get started. And yes, motivation is helpful. Motivation is like gasoline. It can get you moving, but it doesn't keep the engine running. Discipline is the engine itself. Discipline is what keeps you moving mile after mile, step after step, hour after hour when the excitement is gone and all that's left is hard work. Motivation will start the race. Discipline will finish it. And finishing is what matters. Discipline is also about consistency, and consistency is the secret weapon of champions. You see, most people quit before they see results because they are waiting for motivation to carry them. They wait for inspiration to hit them like lightning. They wait for some magical moment when everything aligns. But life doesn't work that way. Success is built in small, consistent actions repeated daily over months and years. Discipline allows you to show up consistently, to take those small actions, to compound your efforts, and to turn ordinary days into extraordinary results. Discipline transforms potential into reality. Discipline transforms dreams into achievements. Here's the truth. Motivation will never push you to do what discipline will. Motivation will get you started. Discipline will get you to the finish line. Motivation will cheer you up when you feel low. Discipline will pick you up when you fall. Motivation will excite you for a moment. Discipline will carry you for a lifetime. Champions, leaders, and high achievers do not rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. They don't wait to feel like it. They do it anyway. They don't wait for a sign. They create it. They don't wait for luck. They build it. Discipline also builds character. It teaches you patience, resilience, and self-control. When you force yourself to do the work even when you don't feel like it, you are strengthening your mind. You are training yourself to endure discomfort. You are teaching yourself to delay gratification. That is what separates the average from the extraordinary. The world is full of people with potential. The world is full of people with talent. The world is full of people with good intentions. But the world is not full of people with discipline. Discipline is rare. Discipline is what allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results. Let me give you an example. You want to be a successful entrepreneur? You want to start a business, make an impact, and change your life? Some days you will feel motivated. You'll be inspired, full of energy, ready to take on the world. But other days, the emails pile up, the phone calls go unanswered, the clients don't respond, and the bills keep coming. Motivation disappears. It's gone. But discipline? Discipline keeps you emailing, keeps you calling, keeps you showing up, keeps you grinding. Discipline doesn't take a day off because you feel tired or discouraged. Discipline carries you forward step by step until your vision becomes reality. Discipline is also about making sacrifices. It's about saying a no to what feels good now so that you can say yes to what will feel amazing later. Discipline is about prioritizing long-term growth over short-term comfort. It's about pushing through pain, rejection, and discomfort to achieve results others only dream of. Discipline is about understanding that every choice you make either fuels your fire or snuffs it out. Every time you choose distraction, every time you choose laziness, every time you choose comfort, you weaken your fire. But every time you choose discipline, every time you choose effort, every time you choose persistence, you make your fire stronger. Discipline is also about mental toughness. Life will throw obstacles at you, challenges you didn't expect, and setbacks that seem impossible. Motivation will leave you in those moments, but discipline will keep you moving. Discipline trains your mind to endure, to push through pain, to rise after failure, and to refuse to quit. Discipline is the difference between someone who complains about life and someone who conquers it. Discipline is the difference between a dreamer and a doer. Now, here's the reality. Discipline is not easy. Discipline requires effort, commitment, and sometimes discomfort. Discipline requires you to do what you don't want to do, even when no one is watching. Discipline requires you to push past laziness, excuses, and fear. Discipline requires you to embrace the grind day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. And yes, discipline will test you. It will challenge you. It will ask for more than you think you can give. But every time you choose discipline, every time you resist quitting, every time you endure the struggle, your fire grows stronger, your skills improve, and your potential expands. Discipline is also contagious. When you live a life of discipline, it inspires others around you. People watch how you show up, how you push through, how you refuse to quit, and they start to believe in their own ability to do the same. Your discipline creates momentum. Your discipline creates energy. Your discipline creates results. And when people see the fire you keep alive through discipline, they are inspired to ignite their own. Think about the athletes you admire. Think about the musicians, the entrepreneurs, the leaders. Do you think they rely on motivation alone? No, they rely on discipline. They show up every day regardless of how they feel. They put in the work when no one is watching. They make sacrifices, endure pain, and stay consistent because they understand that discipline outperforms motivation every single time. Motivation gets you started. Discipline gets you there. And that is why champions, legends, and high achievers never quit. They have mastered discipline. Discipline also teaches you patience. You see, results don't come overnight. Progress doesn't happen in a week. Mastery doesn't happen in a month. Discipline teaches you to trust the process, to keep putting in the work, to endure the struggle, and to remain consistent even when the outcome isn't immediate. Discipline is about understanding that greatness is built brick by brick, day by day, and that consistency wins over intensity every time. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be disciplined. You don't have to be the fastest. You just have to be the most consistent. Let me be clear. Discipline is not punishment. It is empowerment. Discipline is freedom. Because when you master yourself, when you master your habits, when you master your actions, you control your life. Discipline gives you the ability to turn your dreams into reality, to overcome obstacles, to achieve more than you ever imagined, and to keep your fire alive no matter what. Discipline gives you control when life feels out of control. Discipline gives you strength when the world tries to weaken you. Discipline gives you power when you feel powerless. Here's the bottom line. If you want to keep the fire alive, you cannot rely on motivation. Motivation will let you down. Motivation will fade. Motivation will fade. You need discipline as the bridge between your goals and your results. Discipline is the engine that drives your fire. Discipline is what transforms potential into greatness. Discipline is what makes you unstoppable. Every time you wake up and do the work, every time you resist the temptation to quit, every time you push through when it's hard, you are proving to yourself that your fire is stronger than your excuses. You are proving that your dreams are more important than your comfort. You are proving that your life is bigger than your fears. Discipline is not easy, but it is necessary. Discipline is not optional, but it is powerful. Discipline is not temporary, but it lasts forever. So ask yourself, are you going to wait for motivation to show up? Are you going to cultivate discipline? Are you going to depend on how you feel? Or are you going to decide to act no matter what? Are you going to be a spectator in your own life? Or are you going to be the champion who shows up every single day, regardless of circumstances, and keeps the fire alive? The choice is yours. Motivation is fleeting. Discipline is forever. And if you choose discipline, there is nothing that can stop you from achieving greatness. Let me tell you something right now. Your environment will either fuel your fire or snuff it out. You can have all the talent in the world, all the dreams, all the passion. But if you surround yourself with the wrong people, your fire will die slowly, quietly, and without you even realizing it. The people you spend the most time with are like the oxygen that feeds your flame. If they're full of negativity, doubt, and excuses, your fire will suffocate. If they're hungry, ambitious, and relentless, your fire will burn brighter than ever before. And here's the hard truth. Most people are settling for the wrong circle, for the wrong friends, for the wrong colleagues. And then they wonder why their dreams aren't coming true. You have to understand that energy is contagious. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter how motivated you are in the moment. If the people around you are flickering, their energy will creep into your spirit. If they are lazy, their laziness will seep into your habits. If they are negative, their doubt will plant seeds in your mind. And if they are constantly complaining, their excuses will sound like reason to you, even if you know it's not. That's why surrounding yourself with the right people, the right flames, is non-negotiable. Your fire is precious and it deserves protection. Let me make this clear. Surrounding yourself with flames doesn't mean you avoid people who challenge you or who have different opinions. It doesn't mean you live in a bubble. It means you consciously choose to be around people who elevate you, who push you, who inspire you to be more than you were yesterday. It means you spend more time with those who are building, creating, learning, and growing than with those who are stuck, stagnant, or content with mediocrity. It means you refuse to allow negative influences to control your destiny. You can be in the same room with hundreds of people, but only a few will truly add oxygen to your fire. Seek those people, find them, keep them close, protect your flame. You have to ask yourself a question. Who are your closest friends? Who do you spend the majority of your time with? And most importantly, what are they feeding your fire? Are they feeding it or are they snuffing it out? This is not just about friends. It's about mentors, colleagues, business partners, teammates, and even family. Energy is contagious. Your fire will rise or fall depending on the quality of the people around you. If you're serious about your dreams, you cannot afford to let the wrong energy influence your mindset, your habits, or your decisions. You have to surround yourself with flames, people who inspire, challenge, and elevate you every single day. Here's the reality. Most people don't understand the power of their environment. They complain about their circumstances, about their lack of progress, about the obstacles in their life, but they never look at the people they are letting into their circle. Let me tell you something. Your circle determines your altitude. The level of your ambition, your focus, and your success is directly proportional to the energy you allow around you. You want to fly? You want to soar? You want to dominate in your career, in your relationships, in your personal growth? Then surround yourself with flames. People who are hungry, people who are relentless, people who refuse to settle. And let me warn you, surrounding yourself with flames isn't always comfortable, isn't always easy. It requires courage. It requires making tough decisions about who stays in your circle and who doesn't. It requires cutting out the friends who gossip, the colleagues who complain, the family members who discourage you, and sometimes even people you've known for years. It's uncomfortable because relationships are emotional, but your dreams are bigger than your comfort. Your fire is more important than temporary hurt feelings. You have to make decisions that honor your vision, not your past. You have to protect your fire at all costs. You also have to understand that flames inspire flames. If you surround yourself with people who are working hard, studying, learning, grinding, and taking risks, their energy will ignite something inside of you. You will start to see the world differently. You will start to believe differently. You will start to act differently. The habits you develop, the decisions you make, and the discipline you adopt are all influenced by the people you are closest to. That is why the right circle is everything. That is why champions are intentional about the people they let in their lives. That is why leaders surround themselves with other leaders. Flames attract flames. Mediocrity attracts mediocrity. Decide what you want and then choose your circle accordingly. Let me also tell you something else. Your circle doesn't just feed your fire, it protects it. When life knocks you down, when criticism comes, when failure hits, and when doubt creeps in, the right circle will remind you who you are. The right circle will remind you of your purpose. The right circle will push you to keep going when you want to quit. They will elevate your mindset, strengthen your resilience, and fuel your determination. They will act as oxygen for your flame. Without that support, even the strongest fire can struggle to survive. You have to find those people who will remind you of your greatness when you forget it. You see, some people are comfortable being around others who are weak, unmotivated, and doubtful because it makes them feel normal. But I'm telling you, normal will never ignite your fire. Average will never fuel your greatness. If you want to burn brightly, if you want to dominate your field, if you want to leave a legacy, you have to step into circles that are uncomfortable. You have to step into rooms where everyone is hungry, where everyone is grinding, where everyone is refusing to quit. You have to embrace the energy of the driven because it will ignite something inside of you that you cannot fake, cannot buy, and cannot borrow. And let me remind you, this is not just about absorbing energy. It's also about giving energy. Surrounding yourself with flames means that you are also a flame. Your fire, your passion, your ambition, and your relentless pursuit of greatness should inspire the people around you. You are part of the ecosystem. The energy you bring to your circle feeds others, just like theirs feeds you. That's why the right circle multiplies success. It's a network of flames, each one pushing the other higher, brighter, and further. You are either adding to the energy or taking away from it. Be intentional, be aware, be a flame that elevates others. Let's also talk about influence. The people you allow into your life influence your mindset, your behavior, and your results. If you spend time with pessimists, you will start to doubt yourself. If you spend time with people who lack ambition, you will start to rationalize your own mediocrity. If you spend time with dreamers who never act, you will start to excuse your own inaction. Influence is real, it's subtle, it's powerful. You have to guard your circle like it's sacred because your fire is sacred. Protect it, fuel it, elevate it, surround yourself with flames that inspire you to push harder, dream bigger, and act bolder every single day. You also have to be honest with yourself. Take a hard look at the people closest to you. Are they helping you grow or are they holding you back? Are they inspiring you to take massive action or are they filling your mind with doubt and excuses? Be ruthless if you have to. Cut ties with people who don't add oxygen to your fire. Distance yourself from negativity. Protect your dreams like they are precious because they are. You cannot afford to let someone else's low energy determine the trajectory of your life. You cannot allow anyone to dim your flame. Here's another truth. Sometimes the people who are closest to you will be the hardest to remove. Sometimes the family members, long time friends, so have been around for years, may not support your growth. That's okay. That doesn't mean you stop loving them, you stop loving them. That doesn't mean you stop caring. But it does mean you prioritize your fire. You prioritize your dreams. You prioritize the people and environments that inspire greatness. Sometimes protecting your fire means making tough choices about who gets to be close to you, how much time you spend with them, and how much influence you allow them to have over your life. You also have to take responsibility for the energy you bring into your circle. If you want to surround yourself with flames, you have to be a flame. You cannot complain, criticize, or doubt constantly and expect to attract high energy driven people. Your fire has to be visible. Your fire has to be contagious. You have to act like someone who is serious about their purpose, someone who refuses to quit, and someone who will not settle. When you carry that energy, the right people will be drawn to you. The wrong people will drift away, and your fire will have the oxygen it needs to keep blazing. And finally, understand this. The people you allow into your life determine how far your fire will reach. Your success, your mindset, your habits, your discipline, your belief in yourself. All of it is influenced by your circle. Surround yourself with people who inspire you to rise. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to be better. Surround yourself with people who refuse to settle, who refuse to quit, and who refuse to let you settle. Flames feed flame. Mediocrity feeds mediocrity. You get to choose. You get to decide whether your fire burns bright or flickers out. So ask yourself, are you surrounding yourself with flames, or are you letting weak energy smother your fire? Are you seeking out mentors, friends, and colleagues who push you to grow, learn, and take action? Are you protecting your fire from the influences that would dim it? Are you being a flame yourself so that the right people are drawn to you? Because if you do this right, if you are intentional with your circle, if you protect your energy and fuel your fire with the right people, there is nothing that can stop you. Your fire will burn brighter, hotter, and longer than ever before, and the world will feel it. Remember, your fire is your power. Your circle is your oxygen. Surround yourself with flames. Protect your energy and refuse to let anyone dim your light. You are meant to blaze. You are meant to shine. You are meant to leave a mark that others can follow. And the only way to do that is to be intentional about who you let close to you, whose energy you absorb, and whose fire you allow others to touch yours. Surround yourself with flame and watch how high, how far, and how bright your fire can go. Your mind is the battlefield, and how you feed it determines whether you will rise or fall. You can have all the talent in the world. You can have all the drive in the world. You can have all the fire in the world, but if your mind is not trained, nourished, and fed with the right things, your fire will burn out before you even get started. Your mind is where everything begins. Your mindset controls your action. Your actions control your habits. Your habits control your results, and your results control your life. If you want to keep the fire alive, you have to feed your mind relentlessly, intentionally, and wisely. Feeding your mind doesn't just mean consuming information. It means being selective about what you allow into your mental space. Every book you read, every video you watch, every conversation you have, every thought you allow yourself to dwell on, these are all fuel for your fire or fuel for your flame's demise. If you fill your mind with negativity, doubt, and excuses, your fire will flicker and fade. If you feed it with knowledge, inspiration, and wisdom, your fire will roar with intensity, purpose, and unstoppable energy. You get to decide what you feed your mind, and that choice determines the level of your life. The first step in feeding your mind is awareness. You have to become conscious of what you allow into your mental space. Stop scrolling endlessly on social media without purpose. Stop letting negativity dominate your thoughts. Stop letting people plant seeds of doubt in your head. You are what you feed your mind. If you are feeding laziness, distraction, and fear, then guess what? You will act lazy, distracted, and fearful. If you feed your mind with discipline, focus, and courage, then you will act disciplined, focused, and courageous. Your mind is a garden. You decide whether it will grow weeds or produce fruits that nourish your soul and fuel your fire. Next, you must be intentional with your consumption. Don't just randomly read articles, watch videos, or listen to people talk. Be strategic. Read books that challenge you, teach you, and inspire you. Watch videos that motivate you, expand your knowledge, and push you to action. Listen to podcasts that elevate your thinking, give you new ideas, and force you to grow. Be intentional with every input that enters your mind. Every book, every article, every conversation is either a spark or a damp cloth on your flame. Choose carefully. Your fire depends on. You also have to feed your mind continuously. Growth is not a one-time event. You cannot read one book, watch one video, or attend one seminar and expect to transform your life. Feeding your mind is a daily practice. It is a lifelong commitment. It is waking up every day and asking, oh, what am I going to learn today? How am I going to grow today? How am I going to feed my fire today? Your mind is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. The more you feed it, the brighter your fire burns. One of the biggest mistakes people make is underestimating the power of the mind. They think success is only about talent, hard work, or luck. They think results are external. But the truth is, everything begins in the mind. Your mind decides how you interpret obstacles. Your mind decides whether you quit or persevere. Your mind decides whether you see opportunities or problems. Feed your mind and your fire will stay alive. Starve your mind and your fire will die. That's how powerful this is. Another key aspect of feeding your mind is eliminating toxic thoughts. The negative voice in your head, the one that says, you can't, it's too hard, or you're not ready, or someone else is better, that voice is poison. You have to starve it. You have to reject it. You have to replace it with thoughts that empower you, that remind you of your purpose, that tell you to keep going no matter what. Feeding your mind is not just about adding good things. It's also about removing bad things. Clear the clutter. Remove the doubt. Eliminate the distractions. Protect your mental space like it's sacred, because it is sacred. Feed your mind also means surrounding yourself with ideas that challenge you. Don't just consume what is comfortable. Don't just read what you already know. Don't just watch what entertains you. Seek out what stretches you, what pushes your limits, what makes you uncomfortable. Growth happens outside of comfort. The right ideas will force you to think differently, act differently, and become differently, and become different. The more you expose your mind to new knowledge, new strategies, and new ways of thinking, the more powerful your fire becomes. Ideas are fuel. Be intentional with the fuel you choose. You also have to feed your mind with positive influences. That doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending life is easy. That means surrounding yourself with people, stories, and lessons that inspire you to rise above your circumstances. Listen to the stories of people who have faced adversity and conquered it. Learn from the mistakes and victories of others. Let their experience expand your thinking, strengthen your mindset, and ignite your fire. Inspiration is contagious. If you expose yourself to it daily, your mind becomes unstoppable and your fire becomes unquenchable. Discipline is also part of feeding your mind. You cannot feed your mind just by passively consuming content. You have to process it, apply it, and integrate it into your life. Reading a book or listening to a motivational speech is useless if it doesn't change your behavior. Feeding your mind is about action. It's about taking the lessons, strategies, and insights you acquire and using them to fuel your fire. Knowledge without application is wasted energy. The mind that is fed must also act. Action ignites thought. Thought directs action. Together, they keep your fire alive. Let me tell you another truth. Your mind is under constant attack. Life will try to distract you. People will try to pull you down. Circumstances will try to confuse you. And if your mind is not fed, if your mental space is not nourished, if your thoughts are not disciplined, you will lose the battle before it even begins. That's why feeding your mind is non-negotiable. Your fire depends on it. Your success depends on it. Your purpose depends on it. You have to protect your mind, feed it with excellence, and challenge it every single day. Feeding your mind also requires patience. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. You don't become a master of your craft, a leader in your field, or a person of influence by reading one book or listening to one video. It happens over time through repeated, consistent, intentional effort. Feed your mind every day, and over months and years, the compounding effect will be extraordinary. Your fire will grow slowly, steadily, and unshakably. Consistency is key. Discipline is key. Feed your mind daily and watch your life transform. Another aspect of feeding your mind is curiosity. Never stop asking questions. Never stop exploring. Never stop learning. Curiosity drives growth. And curiosity keeps the mind hungry. Curiosity opens doors to new ideas, new strategies, new perspectives, and new opportunities. If you are not curious, your mind becomes stagnant. If your mind is stagnant, your fire loses fuel. Curiosity keeps your fire alive. Curiosity challenges your limitation. Curiosity forces you to expand your thinking. Curiosity allows you to see beyond the ordinary, reach for the extraordinary, and reach for the extraordinary. Feed your mind also means guarding your inner dialogue. What you say to yourself matters more than what anyone else says to you. The conversations you have in your head, the thoughts you dwell on, the words you repeat to yourself. These shape your beliefs, your confidence, and your actions. Feed your mind with empowering, encouraging, and motivating self-talk. Eliminate doubt, fear, and negativity from your inner dialogue. The mind that's fed positively cannot be easily shaken. The fire that is fueled mentally cannot be easily extinguished. Protect your thoughts. Guard your mind. Feed it with power. You also have to embrace challenges as fuel for your mind. Every obstacle, every failure, every setback is an opportunity to learn, grow, and expand your mental capacity. When you face difficulty, don't allow your mind to spiral into fear, doubt, or defeat. Feed it with solutions, strategies, and resilience. Feed it with the belief that you are capable, that you can overcome, and that your fire is stronger than any challenge. The mind that sees challenges as opportunities feeds the fire instead of letting it die. Finally, understand this. The quality of your mind determines the quality of your life. If you feed it with excellence, wisdom, and positivity, your fire will burn brighter, your actions will be more effective, and your results will be extraordinary. If you neglect it, fill it with distractions, and let negativity take root, your fire will fade, your actions will lose direction, and your results will fall short. Feeding your mind is not optional. It's essential. It is urgent. It is life-changing. So ask yourself, what are you feeding your mind today? What books, videos, conversations, and ideas are you allowing into your mental space? Are they elevating you or diminishing you? Are they feeding your fire or snuffing it out? You have the power to choose. You have the responsibility to choose. Feed your mind, challenge it, protect it, and nurture it. Because when your mind is fed, your fire is unstoppable. Your purpose becomes clear. Your vision becomes achievable. Your dreams become reality. Your life becomes extraordinary. Feed your mind relentlessly. Guard it fiercely. Challenge it daily. Surround it with wisdom, positivity, and inspiration. Eliminate doubt, negativity, and distraction. Feed it consistently, intentionally, and strategically. Your fire depends on it. Your destiny depends on it. Your greatness depends on it. Let me tell you something. The struggle is not your enemy. The struggle is not something to avoid. The struggle is not a sign that you are failing. The struggle is proof that you are alive. The struggle is proof that you are moving, growing, and stepping into your purpose. Life will test you. Life will push you. Life will hit you with obstacles, challenges, failures, setbacks, and disappointments. And you have two choices. You can shrink, give up, complain, and run away, or you can embrace the struggle. Learn from it and use it to fuel your fire. The people who succeed, the people who achieve greatness, the people who leave a legacy, they do not wait for life to be easy. They embrace the struggle. They thrive in it. They rise through it. Struggle is the furnace that forges greatness. You see, diamonds are not born in comfort. Steel is not forged in softness. Champions are not made in easy times. They are made when life tests them, when circumstances challenge them, when pain and adversity try to break them. If you want to be great, if you want to leave a mark, if you want to accomplish something that matters, you have to be willing to face the struggle head on. You cannot run from it. You cannot complain about it. You cannot wait for it to disappear. You must embrace it, harness it, and turn it into fuel. Let me be real with you. Everyone wants success, but not everyone wants the struggle that comes with it. Everyone wants results, but not everyone is willing to endure the pain, the rejection, the long hours, and the sacrifices. Everyone wants the crown, but not everyone's willing to go through the battle to earn it. And here's the thing, the struggle is where the growth happens. Is where your character is built, your discipline is strengthened, and your fire is ignited. The struggle is the classroom, and life is the teacher. Pay attention, learn, grow, and never shrink from it. You have to understand that the struggle is temporary, but the lessons you learn from it last a lifetime. Now, every failure, every setback, every disappointment, every painful experience is an opportunity. It is an opportunity to get stronger, wiser, and better prepared for the next level. The struggle is the training ground for your fire. The struggle is what separates those who dream from those who do. Those who quit at the first sign of difficulty never experience the fullness of their potential. Those who embrace the struggle knock a power, resilience, and determination that cannot be shaken. Here's the truth. Struggle is universal. Everyone faces it. Every successful person you admire has gone through it. Every entrepreneur, every athlete, every leader, every innovator has faced moments when the world seemed impossible, when failure was staring them in the face, and when the odds were stacked against them. The difference is that they didn't run from it. They didn't complain. They didn't give up. They leaned into it, learned from it, and let it fuel their fire. If you want to succeed, you have to do the same. Let me break it down for you. Struggle tests your commitment. It tests your patience. It tests your discipline. It tests your ability to endure, to persevere, and to remain consistent. If you shrink every time life challenges you, your fire will never grow. If you complain every time obstacles arise, your fire will flicker and fade. But if you embrace the struggle, if you see it as an opportunity rather than a setback, if you understand that every challenge is a stepping stone, your fire will burn brighter, your resolve will strengthen, and your potential will expand. You have to change the way you see struggle. Stop seeing it as punishment. Stop seeing it as bad luck. Stop seeing it as something that is against you. See it as training. See it as preparation. See it as the process that is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. Every difficult moment, every challenge, every rejection is not a roadblock. Let me tell you something else. The struggle reveals who you really are. When life is easy, anyone can look like a champion. But when the pressure is on, when the pain hits, when everyone else quits, that is when your true character is revealed. That is when your fire either dies or roars. The struggle is a mirror that shows you your strengths, exposes your weaknesses, and challenges you to rise above them. Embrace it, lean into it, and let it mold you into a person who cannot be stopped. You also have to understand that struggle creates resilience. Life will throw punches, but the more you embrace the struggle, the more resilient you become. Every setback, every failure, every challenge strengthens your mind, your body, and your spirit. Resilience is the muscle that allows you to keep going when everything inside of you says quit. Resilience is the fuel that keeps your fire alive even when the night is darkest. The struggle is the gem for your resilience. The stronger you get through it, the more unstoppable you become. Another truth, struggle builds appreciation. When everything comes easy, you never value the journey. You never value the effort. You never value the growth. But when you fight, when you endure, when you overcome, you learn to appreciate every small victory, every step forward, every lesson learned. Struggle teaches gratitude, humility, and perspective. It reminds you that nothing worthwhile is free. It reminds you that success is earned. And it reminds you that your fire is precious and must be protected, fueled, and nurtured every day. Let me break it down even further. The struggle sharpens your focus. When life gets hard, when obstacles appear, when distractions tempt you, the struggle forces you to concentrate. It forces you to prioritize. It forces you to separate what matters from what doesn't. The struggle teaches you to be intentional with your time, your energy, and your resources. The struggle forces you to focus on the things that truly fuel your fire and eliminate the things that drain it. Focus is born in struggle. Clarity is born in struggle. Fire is born in struggle. Fire is born in struggle. You also have to embrace discomfort. The struggle is uncomfortable. It's challenging. It's painful. It's exhausting. And that is exactly why you must embrace it. Growth never happens in comfort. Greatness is never achieved in safety. Your fire cannot grow unless you step into the discomfort, face the challenges, and refuse to quit. Every time you choose discomfort over comfort, every time you choose growth over ease, every time you choose to fight instead of run, your fire grows stronger, your potential expands. Your greatness becomes inevitable. And let me tell you something about consistency. The struggle demands it. It requires you to show up every day, even when you don't feel like it, even when life is unfair. Even when people doubt you, even when your body and mind are exhausted. Showing up consistently in the face of struggle is what separates those who succeed from those who fail. Your fire stays alive when you remain committed, when you push through, and when you refuse to quit. Consistency is your weapon. Discipline is your fuel. Embracing the struggle is your strategy. You also have to see struggle as a teacher, not a curse. Every setback has a lesson. Every failure has an insight. Every difficult moment carries wisdom. The struggle is filled with answers for those willing to listen. The problem is most people don't listen. They complain, they blame, they quit. But if you approach struggle with curiosity, humility, and determination, you will discover truths about yourself, about life, and about your purpose that cannot be learned in comfort. Your fire will be fueled by these lessons, and you will become unstoppable. Another thing, the struggle fuels your ambition. When you face obstacles, when life tests you, it either ignites your fire or extinguishes it. The people who succeed use the struggle as motivation. They use the pain as energy. They use the setbacks as stepping stones. They convert frustration into fuel. Every challenge becomes a reason to work harder, fight longer, and push further. The struggle is not something to fear. It is something to harness. It is the very thing that can propel you never imagined. Let me tell you this. The struggle builds faith, not just in others, but in yourself. Every time you endure, every time you overcome, every time you refuse to quit, your confidence grows. Your belief in your abilities becomes unshakable. You realize that no matter how hard life hits, no matter how dark it gets, you have the strength, the courage, and the resilience to keep moving forward. Struggle is the proof that you are capable. Struggle is the reminder that your fire's not easily extinguished. Struggle is the teacher that builds your unbreakable faith. And here's the key. Embracing the struggle is a choice. Life will always be challenging. Life will always be unfair. Life will always throw obstacles in your path. You cannot control that. But you can control how you respond. You can choose to fight. You can choose to learn. You can choose to grow. You can choose to let every struggle fuel your fire instead of snuffing it out. Your fire stays alive not because life is easy, but because you refuse to let struggle defeat you. You refuse to let failure define you. You refuse to let pain break you. You rise, you fight, you embrace, you conquer. Finally, remember this, struggle is not forever. It is temporary. Pain is temporary. Setbacks are temporary. Challenges are temporary. But the fire you build, the strength you gain, the lessons you learn, the resilience you develop, and the growth you experience lasts forever. Embrace the struggle today. Lean into the discomfort. Learn from the obstacles. Grow through the pain. Harness every challenge, every failure, every setback, and let it fuel your fire. Because the stronger you become in struggle, the brighter your fire will burn, and the greater your impact on the world will be. Let me tell you something right now. Consistency is everything. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how motivated you feel today. If you are not consistent, your fire will burn out, your dreams will fade, and your potential will never be fully realized. Consistency is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the daily effort, the small actions repeated over and over that create massive results. Without consistency, nothing works. Without consistency, without consistency, greatness is impossible. Here's the truth. Consistency beats motivation every time. Motivation is temporary. Motivation comes and goes. You can feel motivated for a few hours, a few days, or maybe even a few weeks, but it will fade. Motivation is like a spark. It ignites energy for a moment, but it cannot keep the flame alive by itself. Consistency, on the other hand, is the fuel that keeps the fire burning no matter how low motivation drops. It is doing the work every single day, even when you don't feel like it. It is showing up when the world is tired, when the body aches, when your mind wants to quit. That is where results are born. That is where fire is kept alive. Consistency is not glamorous. It doesn't come with applause. It doesn't come with recognition. Most people want the results without the process, but let me tell you, the process is the fire. The daily grind, the repeated effort, the small actions that others ignore. That is where greatness is built. It is showing up every single day, whether you feel ready or not. It is putting in the work even when no one is watching. It is taking the same steps over and over until they become habits, until they become second nature, until they compound into extraordinary results. That is consistency. That is the secret of champions. You see, consistency is a reflection of discipline. If you want to keep the fire alive, you have to be disciplined enough to do the work regardless of how you feel. You cannot rely on temporary bursts of energy. You cannot rely on fleeting inspiration. You have to build a system, a routine, a habit, and then stick to it. It is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about showing up day after day, even when it hurts, even when it's uncomfortable, even when life is unfair. That is what separates the successful from the average. That is what keeps your fire alive. Let me break it down. Consistency creates momentum. When you do the right things consistently, small wins accumulate. Small improvements stack up. Habits compound, momentum grows. And before you know it, what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. Your fire gains strength with each consistent action, each disciplined choice, each effort repeated without fail. Momentum is the energy that keeps the flame alive when challenges appear. It's the invisible force that carries you forward when life wants to pull you back. Without consistency, there is no momentum. Without momentum, fire dies. Without fire, your dreams stay out of reach. Another truth, consistency builds trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your ability. Trust in the process. When you show up consistently, even when you don't feel like it, even when no one is watching, you prove to yourself that you can be relied on. You prove to yourself that you are committed. You prove to yourself that your fire is real. That self-trust is powerful because it becomes the foundation for confidence. Confidence allows you to take risks, face challenges, and endure setbacks. Consistency is a practice that reinforces that trust, that belief, that fire. And let me tell you something, consistency is not about doing everything perfectly. It is about doing the right things repeatedly. It is not about avoiding mistakes. It is about learning, adapting, and continuing to move forward regardless. Too many people wait for the perfect plan, the perfect timing, or the perfect moment, and they end up doing nothing. That is not consistency. That is procrastination disguised as preparation. Consistency is imperfect action repeated over time. It is progress, not perfection, that fuels your fire. You also have to understand that consistency compounds. The results of today's effort may not be obvious immediately. You may not see the impact of your work for weeks, months, or even years. But if you continue to show up, to put in the work, to stay disciplined, the results will come. The small actions you take consistently create exponential growth over time. That is why champions are patient. That is why fire can burn bright for years. Consistency compounds. Momentum builds and the results eventually become undeniable. The fire becomes unstoppable. Here's another truth. Consistency keeps your mind focused. When you commit to doing the right things every day, your mind begins to operate differently. You start to prioritize what matters. You start to eliminate distraction. You start to act with intention. Consistency trains your mind to be disciplined, to make better decisions, and to stay on track. Without consistency, the mind wanders. Energy is wasted and fire fades. Consistency creates structure, clarity, and focus. And that is essential for keeping your fire alive. Let me remind you that consistency is contagious. The more you show up, the more people around you notice. Your discipline inspires others. Your commitment encourages others. Your fire motivates others. And that energy comes back to you, fueling your own fire. When you consistently put in the work, not only are you building your own success, you are creating an environment where fire spreads, passion grows, and collective energy elevates everyone involved. Consistency has power beyond what you see, impacts everyone around you. Another thing, you must be consistent with your mindset, not just your actions. Showing up physically without showing up mentally is useless. You have to consistently feed your mind with positivity, motivation, and focus. You have to consistently challenge limiting beliefs, doubt, and negativity. Your fire is only as strong as the mindset that fuels it. Mental consistency is the foundation of your actions. If your mind wavers, your fire falters. If your mind is strong, your fire will burn endlessly, regardless of obstacles or setbacks. Consistency is also about endurance. Life will test you. Life will challenge you. Life will throw obstacles in your path. And in those moments, your ability to stay consistent will determine whether your fire survives. It is easy to be consistent when things are going well, when motivation is high, when results are visible. It is hard to be consistent when life is unfair, when pain hits, when failure comes. But that is exactly when consistency matters the most. That is when your fire needs to be protected and fueled more than ever. You have to embrace the idea that success is boring. Showing up every day, doing the same things repeatedly, sticking to your plan and trusting the process, that is not glamorous. That is not flashy. That's not exciting. But that is what creates results. That is what keeps your fire alive. That is what turns dreams into reality. Champions understand that consistency is the unsung hero behind every achievement, every victory, and every legacy. It is the quiet work done repeatedly that produces extraordinary outcomes. Let me make this clear. You cannot rely on luck, talent, or inspiration alone. Luck is random. Talent is wasted without action. Inspiration fades, but consistency is unstoppable. Consistency creates results regardless of circumstances. Consistency ensures that your fire continues to burn even when life tries to extinguish it. Consistency separates the dreamers from the doers. Consistency transforms average into extraordinary. That is why it is key, and that is why it cannot be ignored. You also have to measure your consistency in action, not intent. Saying you will show up is not enough. Feeling motivated is not enough. Planning and wishing are not enough. You must act consistently every single day. Actions repeated over time create habit. Habits repeated over time create character. Character repeated over time creates results. Results repeated over time create a life that is extraordinary. If you want your fire to stay alive, your actions must match your intentions consistent. Consistency also builds credibility. When you are consistent in your work, your words, your promises, and your effort, people notice. Your reputation grows. Your influence expands. Opportunities appear. Doors open. Your fire becomes visible to the world. Inconsistent people are overlooked, underestimated, and ignored. Consistent people are recognized, respected, and trusted. That is why consistency matters. Not just for results, but for the impact you create and the legacy you leave. And let me tell you something. The most successful people in the world are not the most talented. They are the most consistent. They are the ones who show up every day, put in the work, endure the struggle, and refuse to quit. Consistency beats talent when talent doesn't work. Consistency beats brilliance when brilliance is sporadic. Consistency is what separates ordinary from extraordinary, average from elite, and fire that dies from fire that roars. Another truth, consistency fuels confidence. When you show up every day, do the work, and trust the process, you build belief in yourself. You see progress. You notice improvements. You recognize your strength. That belief is what keeps the fire alive, even when others doubt you. Confidence is built not in one great moment, but in repeated actions over time. Consistency creates evidence of your capability, and that evidence fuels your fire endlessly. Finally, remember this. Consistency is the glue that holds everything together. Talent, passion, motivation, strategy, and dreams. So all of it is meaningless without consistency. Your fire stays alive because you show up. Your dreams materialize because you do the work repeatedly. Your potential is realized because you commit to action day after day. Consistency is the heartbeat of success, the rhythm of achievement, and the energy that keeps your fire burning, no matter what life throws at you. So ask yourself, are you being consistent? Are you showing up daily even when it's hard? Are you feeding your mind consistently? Are you taking consistent action toward your goals? Are you protecting your fire with repeated effort and disciplined choices? If not, start today, start now. No excuses, no waiting, no delays. Consistency is the key. It is the fire that keeps your flame alive. And when you commit to it, there is nothing in this world that can stop you. Let me tell you something right now. The moment you stop being hungry is the moment your fire begins to die. Hunger is not just about food. It is about desire, ambition, drive, and an unrelenting pursuit of excellence. Hunger is what pushes you out of bed in the morning when everyone else is sleeping. Hunger is what keeps you working long after others have given up. Hunger is the fuel that propels ordinary people into extraordinary lives. If you want to keep the fire alive, you must stay hungry, relentlessly hungry, insatiably hungry. Hungry in a way that no failure, no distraction, and no obstacle can ever satisfy. But let me also tell you, being hungry alone is not enough. You must also stay foolish. And when I say foolish, I don't mean careless or reckless. I mean daring, bold, and willing to take risks that others are too afraid to take. Being foolish means not letting conventional wisdom, fear, or the opinions of others define your limits. It means chasing dreams that seem impossible. It means believing in yourself when nobody else does. It means stepping into the unknown, embracing discomfort, and daring to create a life that others might call a crazy, unrealistic, or a foolish. Hunger and foolishness together are unstoppable. Hunger without foolishness is desperation. Foolishness without hunger is arrogance. But combined, they create a fire that cannot be extinguished. Hunger keeps you awake when others are comfortable. Hunger makes you grind when others quit. Hunger refuses to settle for anything less than your full potential. Hunger is the relentless pursuit of your goals. No matter how hard the path, no matter how many obstacles you face, and no matter how many times you fail. And foolishness is the courage to act on that hunger. Foolishness, the willingness to take risks that others shy away from. Foolishness is breaking the rules of conventional thinking, challenging the status quo, and refusing to let fear dictate your choices. Foolishness is saying yes when others say no, stepping forward when others step back, and daring to dream bigger than anyone around you can imagine. Hunger drives the desire, but foolishness executes it boldly. Together they create momentum and unstoppable fire. Now let me tell you something most people don't understand. The world will try to crush your hunger. The world will try to tell you that your dreams are impossible, that your goals are unrealistic, that you are foolish for wanting more. And that is exactly why you must stay hungry. That is exactly why you must stay foolish. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who follow the crowd. They are the ones who refuse to be satisfied, who refuse to conform, who refuse to let fear or doubt dictate their path. Hunger keeps you relentless. Foolishness keeps you daring. Together, they keep your fire alive when everyone else is trying to extinguish. Hunger demands sacrifice. It demands discipline. It demands long hour work and relentless commitment. Hunger is waking up before the sun rises while everyone else is still asleep. Hunger is studying when everyone else is partying. Hunger is practicing when everyone else is resting. Hunger is giving everything you have every day, even when you feel tired, unmotivated, or defeated. Hunger is the refusal to settle for comfort when greatness is waiting. Hunger pushes you to do what others won't, endure what others can't, and achieve what others dream about. And here's the truth. Foolishness requires courage. It requires risk. It requires vulnerability. Foolishness is putting yourself out there when failure is possible. Foolishness is daring to start a business when everyone says it's too risky. Foolishness is pursuing a passion when nobody believes in you. Foolishness is stepping out of your comfort zone, leaving the familiar behind, and chasing a life that excites you even if it scares you. Foolishness is refusing to play small, refusing to accept the ordinary, and daring to create the extraordinary. Let me remind you that hunger and foolishness together create resilience. Life will knock you down. Obstacles will arise. Failures will hit you all. But hunger will keep you striving. Foolishness will keep you daring. Hunger gives you the desire to push forward. Foolishness gives you the courage to try again, to innovate, and to take bold action. When you stay hungry and foolish, setbacks are not the end. They are fuel. They are lessons. They are opportunities to rise stronger, smarter, and more determined than ever before. Another truth, hunger keeps your mind sharp. Hunger forces you to think strategically, plan carefully, and act decisively. Hunger keeps you focused on your goals, even when distractions are everywhere. Hunger reminds you of your purpose and keeps you moving forward when life gets chaotic. And foolishness keeps your mind open to possibility. Foolishness allows you to experiment, to take risks, to innovate, and to challenge conventional thinking. Together, hunger and foolishness create a mindset that is unstoppable, unshakable, and unrelenting in the pursuit of success. You have to understand that staying hungry is a daily choice. It doesn't happen automatically. You must remind yourself every day why you started. You must keep your goals in front of you. You must visualize the life you want and refuse to settle for anything less. Hunger is not a feeling. It is a discipline. Hunger is waking up with purpose and determination, even when the world is comfortable. Hunger is showing up every day doing the work and refusing to quit. Hunger requires persistence, patience, and an unwavering commitment to your dream. And foolishness is also a choice. You can decide to conform, to follow the crowd, to play it safe, and to accept what everyone else accepts. Or you can choose to act boldly, to take risks, to step into the unknown, and to dare to dream bigger than anyone else believes is possible. Foolishness requires courage. It requires confidence. It requires belief in yourself when others doubt you. Foolishness is the action that turns hunger into results, dreams into reality, and fire into unstoppable power. Let me tell you something else. Staying hungry and foolish keeps you learning. The moment you stop learning is the moment your fire begins. Hunger drives curiosity. Drives curiosity. Hunger pushes you to improve, to grow, to expand your skills, and to seek new knowledge. Foolishness forces experimentation. Foolishness forces risk-taking, trying new strategies, and thinking outside the box. Hunger keeps you growing. Foolishness keeps you daring. Together, they create a life of constant evolution, growth, and achievement. Another truth, hunger and foolishness attract opportunity. When you are relentless, driven, and bold, doors open that others cannot see. People notice your fire. People respect your courage. People are drawn to your energy. Hunger and foolishness make you visible, make you influential, and make you capable of creating opportunity that others cannot even imagine. When you stay hungry, you create momentum. When you stay foolish, you create action. When you combine them, you create a life of possibilities that is unstoppable. And let me remind you, hunger and foolishness inspire others. Your fire becomes contagious. Your energy motivates people around you. Your courage encourages others to step up. Your persistence challenges others to raise their standards. When you stay hungry and foolish, you not only fuel your own fire, you light the flames of those around you. You become a force that elevates not just yourself, but everyone in your sphere. Hunger and foolishness are powerful beyond measure because they create impact far beyond your own life. You also have to understand that staying hungry means embracing discomfort. It means doing the hard things when no one else is willing. It means sacrificing temporary comfort for long-term greatness. It means working harder, pushing further, and enduring more than others expect. Hunger is uncomfortable, but that discomfort is where growth happens, where fire is forged, and where extraordinary results are born. Foolishness requires the same. It requires stepping into uncertainty, taking calculated risks, and daring to do what others would never attempt. Discomfort is not your enemy. It is your teacher, your forge, and your ally. Let me break it down even further. Staying hungry and foolish without vision. Hunger gives you the desire to achieve. Foolishness gives you the courage to chase that vision relentlessly. Together, they force you to see beyond your current circumstances, beyond your limitations, and beyond the opinions of others. Hunger keeps your eyes on the prize. Foolishness pushes you to take the steps that others fear. Hunger and foolishness together create clarity, focus, and unstoppable drive. They give you a vision and the means to pursue it relentlessly. Another truth, hunger and foolishness create persistence. Life will challenge you. Life will knock you down. Life will test your limits. But hunger makes you refuse to quit. Foolishness gives you the courage to rise, to innovate, and to try again. Hunger and foolishness together create relentless drive that cannot be stopped by failure, doubt, or obstacles. They create persistence that turns setbacks into comebacks and challenges into triumphs. They create a fire that burns even brighter when the world tries to put it out. And finally, remember this, staying hungry and foolish is a lifestyle. It is not a temporary phase. It is not a mood or a feeling. It is a daily choice, a daily commitment, and a daily discipline. Hunger must be fueled constantly. Foolishness must be exercised boldly. Together, they keep your fire alive, your ambition unstoppable, and your life extraordinary. Hunger and foolishness are the secret weapons of those who rise above mediocrity, who defy the odds, and who create a legacy that will last far beyond their lifetime. So ask yourself, are you hungry today? Are you foolish today? Are you daring to dream big? Are you willing to work hard, take risks, and push past every fear, doubt, and limitation? If not, start now. Fuel your hunger. Embrace your foolishness. Take bold action. Show up every day. Work harder than anyone else. Risk more than anyone else. Dream bigger than anyone else. Stay hungry. Stay foolish, and your fire will burn brighter than ever, lighting the path to greatness, success, and a life that inspires the world. Let me tell you something. The fire inside you was never meant to stay inside you. The talent, the wisdom, the lessons, the drive, and the passion that you have, they are not just for you. They are meant to be shared. They are meant to inspire, uplift, and empower others. To truly keep your fire alive, you must pass it on. You must give back. You must invest your energy into others, because the fire multiplies when it's shared. The people who leave a legacy, the people who make a lasting impact, they do not hoard their gifts, they pass it on. The fire you have, the drive you nurture, the lessons you learn through struggle, they are your tools. But tools are only valuable when used. Tools are only powerful when applied. And the most powerful use of your fire is to ignite the fire in others, to encourage them, to lift them up, to show them what is possible, to let them see that greatness is attainable. Passing it on is not just an act of kindness, it is a responsibility. If you have been given fire, it is your duty to light the flames of others. Let me be clear. Passing it on does not mean giving away your success. It does not mean diminishing your own fire. It does not mean holding back. In fact, the opposite is true. When you lift others, you strengthen yourself. When you share your knowledge, your experience, and your passion, your fire grows bigger. There is a multiplier effect. Inspiration is contagious. Encouragement creates momentum. Empowerment creates leaders. And when you pass it on, your fire does not fade. It spreads, multiplies, and impacts lives you may never even see. Here's the truth. Everyone needs someone to pass the fire on to them. Think about it. How did you get to where you are? Who encouraged you when you were ready to quit? Who showed you the possibilities when doubt tried to paralyze you? Who inspired you to keep moving forward when the weight of the world pressed down on you? Someone passed the fire to you, even if it was through a book, a speech, or a single act of encouragement. Now it is your turn. The chain continues with you. Passing it on requires empathy. It requires connection. It requires a willingness to see the potential in someone else and invest your energy in their growth. It requires patience, understanding, and guidance. Some people will resist. Some people will doubt themselves. Some people will fail to see their own potential. But if you stay committed, if you continue to pass the fire, if you refuse to give up on others, eventually they will rise. Eventually your fire will ignite their fire. And that impact will last far beyond what you can imagine. Let me tell you, passing it on is about leadership. And leadership is not about position, title, or recognition. Leadership is about influence. Leadership is about inspiring others to see what is possible. Leadership is about creating conditions where others can rise, grow, and excel. The fire you carry becomes a beacon. The knowledge you share becomes a roadmap. The encouragement you offer becomes a lifeline. And the results? They are limitless. When you pass it on, you create leaders, you create impact, and you create a legacy. And here's the thing, passing it on fuels your own fire. You may think that focusing on others will drain you. You may think that lifting others will weaken your energy. But that is not true. When you invest in someone else's growth, your fire is amplified. Inspiration returns to you, turns to you, tenfold. Motivation is renewed. Purpose is strength. The act of giving your energy, your knowledge, and your passion to others recharges your fire like nothing else can. The more you pass it on, the more unstoppable your own fire becomes. Let me break it down further. Passing it on requires courage. Courage to be vulnerable. Courage to share your struggles, your lessons, your failures, and your wisdom. Courage to step into someone else's life and challenge them to rise. Courage to say, I believe in you, even when you don't believe in yourself. Courage to commit to their growth, even when it is inconvenient or uncomfortable. Passing it on is an act of bravery because it requires giving a part of yourself, trusting the process, and knowing that your effort can change a life. And let me remind you, passing it on requires intentionality. You cannot do it haphazardly. You cannot do it casually. You must choose to be a source of fire. You must choose to mentor, guide, and support. You must choose to invest in others with purpose. Every conversation, every action, every word of encouragement has the potential to ignite someone's fire. If you do it intentionally, consistently and passionately, the impact is profound. Passing it on is a choice, and every choice matters. Think about it this way. Fire spreads when it touches something else. If you keep it contained, it burns out. If you hoard it, it diminishes. But when you share it, it grows. The person you encourage today may inspire others tomorrow. The act of passing on your fire creates ripples, waves, and momentum that extend far beyond your own reach. Your legacy is built not on what you keep, but on what you give away. The fire multiplies exponentially when shared. Another truth, passing it on is not always easy. Some people will resist your fire. Some will doubt your intention. Some will not understand your guidance or encouragement. Some will even reject it. And that is when your commitment is tested. That is when your fire must burn brighter. Passing it on is not for the faint-hearted. It requires persistence, patience, and unwavering belief that your influence matters. Even if one person benefits, even if one life is changed, your effort is worth it. And that is how the fire continues to burn. Let me also tell you, passing it on builds community. The fire is not meant to be carried alone. When you lift others, you create a network of support, growth, and encouragement. When one fire ignites another, a movement is born. Collaboration, mentorship, and shared vision multiply results. Passing it on creates bonds, connections, and momentum that no single person could achieve alone. The fire spreads and becomes unstoppable because it is no longer isolated. It is collective. And here's the truth. Passing it on is time. The lessons you share, the wisdom you impart, and the encouragement you give outlast your own time and effort. Your influence continues to shape lives, generations, and communities long after you have moved on. When you pass it on, your fire becomes immortal. It burns in others, it motivates others. It motivates others and inspires change that extends far beyond what you can see or imagine. That is the power of sharing your fire. It is eternal. Another thing, passing it on is an investment. It is an investment in someone else's potential, in someone else's growth, and in the future of impact. When you invest your time, energy, and wisdom in others, you create exponential returns. The person you ignite today may go on to inspire, motivate, and lead countless others tomorrow. Your fire becomes a catalyst for growth, change, and transformation that multiplies beyond your own reach. Every effort you put into passing it on compounds. You also have to understand that passing it on requires humility. It is not about ego, recognition, or personal gain. It's about the person you are lifting, the life you are changing, and the fire you are igniting. True influence is selfless. True impact is focused on others. The fire that you pass on is not diminished by sharing. It is enhanced. Humility allows you to be a conduit of inspiration, a mentor of wisdom, and a source of encouragement that empowers others without expecting anything in return. And let me remind you, passing it on requires consistency. You cannot ignite someone's fire once and forget about it. You cannot offer guidance once and then walk away. Influence is cultivated over time. Support, mentorship, and encouragement must be repeated, nurtured, and reinforced. Consistency in passing ensures that the fire does not flicker. It ensures that your influence is lasting, ensures that the momentum continues, creates a sustained impact for years to come. Passing it on is also about vision. It is about seeing the potential in someone else that they cannot yet see in themselves. It is about believing in their dreams, abilities, and capabilities. It is about challenging them to rise, to work hard, and to persist when life gets difficult. Vision allows you to guide others toward possibilities that extend beyond their current circumstances. When you pass it on with vision, you empower someone to see what they can become, not just what they are. Another truth, passing it on teaches you as much as it teaches them. When you invest in others, when you guide, mentor, and inspire, you grow. You learn patience, empathy, leadership, and communication. You refine your own skills, knowledge, and fire. The act of passing it on is reciprocal. The more you give, the more you gain. And that continuous growth keeps your fire alive. By lifting others, you are also lifting yourself higher. Let me tell you something. Passing it on is contagious. One life change inspires another. One act of encouragement multiplies into many. One moment of guidance sparks a chain reaction of fire, spreading throughout a community, a network, and even generations. Your influence has a ripple effect that goes far beyond your immediate reach. When you pass it on, you are not just helping one person, You are creating an impact that can affect countless lives. That is the power of fire shared. Finally, remember this. Your fire has a purpose, and that purpose extends beyond yourself. The struggles you've overcome, the lessons you've learned, the victories you've achieved, they are not only for your benefit, they are for the benefit of those who will come after you, for those who need guidance, inspiration, and motivation. Passing it on ensures that your fire never dies. It continues to blaze, to inspire, and to transform lives. That is how legacies are built. That is how true greatness is achieved. That is how the fire stays alive forever. So ask yourself, are you keeping your fire to yourself, or are you passing it on? Are you sharing your lessons, your wisdom, your passion, and your drive with others? Are you investing in the growth of those around you? Are you mentoring, encouraging, and lifting others to greatness? If not, start today. Pass it on. Share your fire. Inspire others. Empower them. Challenge them. Teach them. Lead them. Because when you pass it on, your fire becomes unstoppable. Your influence becomes eternal. And your life creates a legacy that will inspire generations to come. Now, as we reach the end of this journey, I want you to understand something. Keeping the fire alive is not a one-time decision. It is a lifelong commitment. It is a daily choice. It is a relentless pursuit that never stops. No matter what stage of life you are in, no matter how successful you become, and no matter how many obstacles you have already overcome, fire is not something you light once and forget about. Something you nurture, protect, and feed every single day. And the truth is, the intensity of your life, the magnitude of your success, and the impact you leave behind are directly tied to your ability to keep your fire alive. Keeping your fire alive means embracing challenges when everyone else runs from them. It means standing tall when the storms of life are raging around you. It means refusing to give in to fear, doubt, or criticism. It means looking at obstacles not as barrier, but as opportunities to grow, to learn, and to push yourself to levels you never imagined possible. Life will throw things at you: pain, failure, heartbreak, disappointment. But fire is not extinguished by adversity. Fire is strengthened by it. Every time you rise after a fall, every time you persevere when the odds are against you, every time you refuse to quit in the face of defeat, your fire grows stronger, brighter, and more unstoppable. Understand this. The fire inside you is unique. Your story, your struggle, your vision, and your purpose cannot be replicated. There is no one else who can live your journey or fulfill your potential the way you can. And that means your fire is precious. That means your responsibility is massive. You cannot allow it to fade. You cannot allow it to be dimmed by doubt or distraction. You cannot allow it to be stolen by fear, comfort, or complacency. Every day you have the opportunity to feed your fire, to ignite it, to fuel it with passion, discipline, and action. The choice is yours. And the world is waiting for you to choose. You see, keeping the fire alive is more than just personal success. It is about the lives you touch along the way. When you rise, you elevate others. When you overcome, you inspire. When you fight, you give hope to those who are watching, those who are struggling, and those who are wondering if they can ever rise again. Fire is contagious. Energy is magnetic. Passion is powerful. Your determination becomes a beacon for others, showing them that they too can overcome, that they too can achieve, that they too can keep their fire alive, no matter what circumstances they face. And that is why your fire matters, not just for you, but for everyone your life touches. Keeping your fire alive requires discipline. It requires showing up every single day, regardless of how you feel. It requires pushing yourself when motivation fades. It requires doing the work even when it is hard, uncomfortable, or inconvenient. Discipline is the engine of fire. Without discipline, passion burns out. Without routine, determination fades. Without persistence, even the brightest flame will flicker and die. That is why you must commit to consistency, to daily effort, and to relentless action. Show up when others sleep. Work when others rest. Strive when others settle. That is how fire becomes unstoppable. But discipline alone is not enough. You must also feed your fire with purpose. You must know why you are here. You must understand what you are striving for and why it matters. Fire without purpose is energy wasted. It's like a flame without oxygen. It may burn for a moment, but it cannot sustain itself. Purpose gives your fire direction, intensity, and meaning. When your why is clear, no challenge is too big, no obstacle too strong, and no failure too discouraging. Your purpose is your fuel, your motivation, and your reason to keep going when everything in your life screams to quit. And let me tell you this, keeping the fire alive also requires courage. Courage to face your fears, courage to take risks, courage to fail, rise, and fail again. Courage to step out of your comfort zone, leave mediocrity behind, and pursue greatness relentlessly. Fire demands bravery. Fire refuses to be tamed by doubt, fear, or hesitation. Every time you act despite fear, every time you speak up when silence is easier, every time you move forward when the path is unclear, your fire grows. Courage and fire are inseparable. One cannot exist fully without the other. Another truth, you cannot keep the fire alive if you do not continually grow. Growth fuels fire. Growth sharpens fire. Growth expands fire. If you stop learning, stop improving, stop pushing yourself, your fire will diminish over time. The world evolves. Challenges increase. Expectations rise. If you remain stagnant, your fire becomes weak. But if you commit to constant growth, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, your fire becomes invincible. Learn every day. Challenge yourself every day. That's how fire remains alive and burns brighter than ever. And remember, keeping the fire alive is not a solo endeavor. You must surround yourself with people who fuel your fire, who challenge you, and who inspire you to rise higher. The wrong company will dim your flame. Negative energy, toxic relationships, and limiting influences will slowly suffocate your fire if you allow them. But those who uplift, encourage, and push you to be better, they amplify your fire. Choose your circle wisely. Surround yourself with people who reflect your ambition, support your vision, and celebrate your victories. Your fire will rise higher in an environment that nurtures it. Keeping your fire alive also means embracing failure. Failure is not the enemy, it's a teacher. Fire is forged in adversity, strengthened in struggle, and tested in defeat. Every setback, every rejection, every obstacle is an opportunity to refine your approach, to deepen your resolve, and to prove to yourself that you are unstoppable. Do not fear failure. Do not avoid it. Do not let it extinguish your fire. Let it fuel you. Let it push you to rise, to work harder, and to reach further than you ever thought possible. Fire thrives in those who persist. And as you move forward, never forget to pass the fire on. Your fire is not just for you. It is meant to inspire, uplift, and empower others. Encourage those around you. Mentor someone who is struggling. Share your lessons, your knowledge, and your experience. Lift someone who has fallen. Teach someone who is lost. The fire multiplies when it is shared. Every life you touch, every person you inspire, and every soul you ignite adds to the legacy of your fire. Passing it on ensures that your flame never dies. It continues to burn in others, lighting paths you may never see. You also have to embrace humility. Fire is powerful, but it is not a license for arrogance. True fire comes with responsibility. It comes with integrity, honesty, and respect. Use your fire wisely. Do not let it consume you or blind you. Let it guide you, empower you, and inspire others. Humility ensures that your fire is sustainable, ensures that it touches lives positively, ensures that the energy you carry elevates rather than destroys. Fire without humility is dangerous. Fire with humility creates legacy. Let me remind you, keeping the fire alive means resilience. Life will challenge you. Life will test you. Life will push you to your limits. And in those moments, your fire must burn brighter than ever. Resilience is the shield that protects your fire from being extinguished. Resilience is the strength that allows you to rise again and again after every fall. Resilience is the commitment to your purpose, your vision, and your dreams, even when the odds are stacked against you. Without resilience, fire dies. With resilience, fire becomes unstoppable.